system if with us is an internet facility. So Python tools, but the Python is rich in the packages, and each and everything that APIs and all these things are not applicable for every purposes. So we have to first choose which one is effective for which programming. So in last class we have discussed that the time series analysis autoregressive models. So autoregressive model is called a recursion model, such as linear recursion model, because if the simple equation is saying that one, the y is equals to b plus mc, so that one is saying that one the data is mapping in respect of the values, the constant values, and this equation. So where y is that the predictions, b0 and b1 are the coefficients by the optimizing model on the training data, and x is the input value. So in that case, the second equations you can see xt plus 1 is equals to b0 plus b1 xt minus 1 plus b2 xt2 minus, because the regression model data from the same input variable at the previous steps. Why we are require this one? Because the predictions or the forecasting is depending upon the unseen things we want to predict, but based on the previous histories. That's why it is computations part is required like this. So time series is a sequence of numerical data points in successive order. What it mean by the successive order? एक के बाद एक हम कर रहे हैं. So this is based on the previous process, previous history. So how we can take, how we can model the previous predicted previous values, and we want to predict the unseen next. So yesterday we went there for the temperature monitoring, for that PM modeling, PM 2.5, PM 10. So this reading, the continuous reading, but we want to predict what will be the answer for the next one. So this prediction will depending upon the previous history of the data, previous samples of the data. So the time series is numeric data points in successive order, and time series analysis is a technique of analyzing the available data to predict the future outcome of an application. So all of you can note down this tools is required and useful for the time series analysis: PyFlux, time sign, SK time, orbit, and pastas. So no need to take many packages, but only based on these 5 packages you can deploy your analysis in a time series manner with the help of PyFlux, time synthesize, SK time, orbit, and pastas. So time series data example, why I choose this topic? Because the reason behind it, we are working on that. The theme is saying that we want to deploy the particular model in the area of that data in earth sciences. Okay, so this earth sciences is somehow, the nature of this data is somehow related to information system positioning, global information system positioning. So this is the geographical information system. So can you say something about that? The geographical information system is depending upon the 2 parameters, latitude and longitude values. So based on this latitude and longitude values, we want to place the particular device, we want to place a particular sensor, we want to extract the information in that particular center point. So a geographical information system, the full form is called, the abbreviation is a GIS. G represent geographical, I represent information, and S represent system. So how many keywords over there? 3 keywords. The first keyword is we want to take the samples not from the normal positions. We want to take the sample as per the latitude, longitude positioning as a geospatial positioning. So this is the geographic information system. So GIS can use any information that includes the locations. Suppose what is the pin code for the Raipur itself? 492010. We are located in the city of that NIT. So we are positioning that the 492010. There is a significant role between these, assigning the 4 value, 9 value, 1 value, 20 value, and 10 value. This is for the that the positioning of that one. So the power of the user-friendly GIS visualization. Why we need this type of tools? Because we are sitting here, but we are not able to see all the things virtually. So virtually, or the feel like that, we want to see the geographical information by our place. That's why this information supportive systems are required. If I can monitor the working of that yesterday visited point by our place, it is possible with the help of GIS supporting tools and techniques in a remotely. So the new things come as a remote sensing data, remote analysis. So remotely, it means we are not physically present, but we are virtually things, each and everything, the data itself from that position. The power of user-friendly GIS visualization is the form of thematic illustrated map. That's why the applied geology, you have attended the many classes of, you have attended the class of Dr. DC Jharia, you have attended the class of some of the researchers in online, they have joined. They are giving that informations of the map wise analysis. So this map is saying exactly the place of that where we want to do the study. And ODK, all of you please write ODK. This ODK tool, ODK is online tool. Now it is free. It is giving somehow free to us also. And remotely we can extract the informations. Suppose I sent my 2 PhD scholar or 2 MTech scholar in that place, and I want to monitor whether they are taking the data or not. So minute by minute, they are sending the samples informations to me by the Android app. So this ODK is for both the versions. The standalone version also available, and for the mobile version also available. You can extract this information and how the ODK works. Okay. So the application of GIS include mapping. The first thing, we want to map the particular hotspot analysis where we want to do the work. Our team is proposing the one project in this direction, and we are working on the climate changes. So this climate changes is saying that after a few years ago, the India, the Chhattisgarh region will convert into a dry zone. Which type of the climate conditions are required to take care? Otherwise, we will face a bigger problem near future. So all these things is called the which area, which locations we want to focus the analysis. It's called a hot spot analysis. And third one is a land information system. What is the property of that? The landing and all the other things is required. And third one is a urban planning, because blindly we are doing and nowadays the south many cities are facing this problem of the water problem. Like a Bangalore is a more sufferer. Okay, South Tamil Nadu में भी आप जाके देखेंगे, they are a more sufferer. Why? Because they are making they are increasing the urban areas without bothering the recharge of the water, the groundwater treatments. All these things they are not concentrated in a very efficient way. So urban areas, urban planning is playing a major role for all these things. So these informations, for gathering this informations, for doing the planning, who will take care of this one is called a DSS. What is the meaning of DSS? It's called a decision support system. Whether we want to do some urbanization in that place or not, why, where, how. So these all things is depending upon these things. Then the next one is a prediction of the coronavirus cases. We have done this analysis, GIS analysis on the corona cases of the India of Chhattisgarh place. So S-ARIMA model, yesterday I have say something about this one, the time series models. So according to this time series model, we have the auto regressions, we have a moving average, we have auto regressive moving average, auto regressive integrated moving average, seasonal autoregressive integrated moving average. So the last one we have deployed as per the GIS location of Chhattisgarh, of all over the India for the COVID cases. Okay. Yes. So the S-ARIMA model we have used are widely used in a statistical approach for time series analysis. Are you agree for this point? Why we want to do this analysis by the time series analysis and why we are doing the S model? Okay, we will give the sufficient reason because we have a variety of time series model, but we are taking the S-ARIMA model. So this ARIMA model, non-seasonal ARIMA, PDQ, these are the three parameters methods to employ to build the pure seasonal S ARIMA models. So we want to do these things, but what the things will help us? So the concept or the techniques we are using here is called a spatial data mining. There are the data mining having the two varieties. The first one is the simple data mining techniques we can apply as a web-based mining also in one image mining also. But here we are doing the word is spatial data mining. Again, how many keywords we have? We have three keywords. What is the meaning of spatial? It means the thing is related with the space, the position, the location. But वहां पे अपने data mining पे geographical data mining नहीं specified है ना? So once you extract the information in terms of the data science, so from where you have to take the techniques, you go with this keyword as a spatial data mining. So spatial data mining is automated process of discovering the patterns in the data. What it mean by the patterns? कि जैसे आपने देखा, if the dry zone is there, then some different patterns. If the land is full of waters, then the different patterns. If we want to extract the informations inside of the earth, or you can say the below of the land, then the pattern will different. So pattern is a key things for analyzing anything. We are the researchers working in a healthcare. So we are finding the patterns of the heart. We are finding the patterns of the brain. We are working in the patterns of the lungs. So all the patterns are playing a significant role for the analysis purposes. So spatial data mining is application of data mining technique to spatial data. मतलब कहाँ का चाहिए हमको? The information is not from heart. The information is not from the brain. The information is from the spatial place, or you can say as a geographical informations. So these are the rules, the primitive of the spatial data mining. There are the several kind of rules like characteristic rule, discriminant rule, association rules, or deviations and evaluations rules. Here, one thing is very important. All of you, if possible, note down association rule. Association rule. The association rule, it means the occurrence of next event, probability is depending upon the transactions and the items associated with others. Okay. So in a simple way, if we want to think what it means by the association over here, so association is saying that suppose we want to say something about the market basket analysis, what will be the cost of next product? Suppose this is a product of the water bottle. We want to take how many persons they will purchase water bottle along with the, if they are purchasing a small bottle or the biscuit packets and all. So the occurrence or the activity will depending upon the other set, other elements, other factors. So it is called a association. क्या उनके बीच में relation है जिसके basis पे इसका आप क्या करोगे? Execution करोगे. So I have applied near about 2 to 3 papers in that association rules, mining, in healthcare, in water recharge systems. So why it is required? Because I want to see what are the factors affecting this also. Okay. So this is the called the association rule mining. So you explore this keyword in your work, association rule mining. So thematic maps already discussed with the previous lectures. The thematic map is a map primarily designed to show the theme, a spatial distribution of a pattern using a specific map type, and these maps shows the distribution of features over the limited geographical area. So the mining student, civil student, applied geology student, they are using the thematic map. Okay. So this is the theme of our event, role of ML in GIS. So machine learning has been a core component of spatial analysis in GIS. Agree with me? All of you agree with me? The role of ML in a GIS, कि GIS का मतलब हम ऐसे ही उठा के ML नहीं लगा रहे हैं. There is a certain reason. Yesterday we have discussed. If there is a no need, then AI will stand alone. उसको कुछ भी करने की जरूरत नहीं है. If there is a need, then only we can deploy the model. So there a need generated by the GIS system. So ML wants to perform some actions on this area. So machine learning has been a core component of the spatial analysis in the GIS, and these tools and algorithms have been applied to geoprocessing tools to solve the problem in 3 broad categories. So you can write down which things we want to do if we are working in a GIS. The first one is a classification, second one is a clustering, and third one is a prediction algorithms. So you can use the vector machine algorithm to create a land cover classification layer. The classification is a well-known theme, but in the GIS area, the role is different. It wants to categorize the things. The purpose is same, but how, where, why is different. Okay. So here the classification, you can use the, which one we want to use? You can mention vector machine algorithm. Say simple machine algorithm will not directly apply. We want a vector machine algorithm to create a land cover classification layers. The second one, clustering, lets you process the large quantities of the input point, identifying the meaningful clusters. We want to categorize, suppose the Chhattisgarh regions, we want to identify how many dry zones and how many wet zones. So these zones, we have to create 2 buckets, and all the places we just keeping, if the things are like a wet, then we have to keep in a wet zone, and otherwise we will keep in a dry zone. So this is the classification problem, because we want to categorize into a 2 groups. And if we are saying that one, simply we are applying the any algorithm as a clustering algorithm and created 2 class. Okay, we are giving the informations by its own intelligence. Whose intelligence? Machine अपने आप से कर ले. We are not giving a sufficient learning to machine, but we are saying this is the Chhattisgarh region, these are the points, and machine categorized by self mechanism, self learning. It is called a SOP, self objective processing. So uske according wo kya karega? It will create a multiple clusters depending upon the how many different natures he is getting. They will get. So this is called a clustering. So what is the difference between the clustering and classification? In classification, we are giving sufficient information for categorization. We have a sufficient number of classes for categorization. But in case of clustering, machine take the trends, machine take the intelligence, machine categorize by their own way to categorize the data. So which one is a complex one here? Classification is a complex, or clustering is a complex? Clustering is a somehow complex. Can we validate the clusters? Can we verify the clusters? No, we can't verify the clusters. We can verify the class. In classifications, we can verify the classification algorithm. और validate हम कैसे कर रहे हैं कि ये water bottle एक अच्छे water bottle की category में चला गया, उसके बाद हम देख रहे हैं कि हाँ ये सही हुआ है. यानी कि after processing, if we are testing, then it is called a validations. So cluster, we can perform the validation, and classification, we can perform the verification. Okay? So these are the basic difference in the classification and the clustering algorithm. Which one is a complex? The clustering is somehow complex because we are not giving any learning, and the classification is somehow easy because we have a great learner. We have a specified statically defined number of classes. So this is a basic difference of it. And in GIS domain, if we are a beginner in this area, so simply you find out the definition of classification, which type of algorithm is required in that area. So I have mentioned that one, the vector machine algorithm you have to find first in GIS area. Second, you have to find out the that one. You want to create the clustering algorithms, which type of clustering algorithm is applicable in that area. And last one is the prediction algorithms. So yesterday class also we have discussed about that one, because this is saying that nowadays this is in the boom of the artificial intelligence. Second one is a machine learning, and third one is a deep learning. So here the deep learning application in GIS, once we want to start our journey with the that one. So the deep learning image classification, it is good if we have a image data. Then you can take the techniques from your deep learnings. You can apply the deep learning on it. Okay. Otherwise, simple machine learning, vector machine learning algorithms are sufficient if you have sensor data. Okay, because the data have, all of you say data have various properties. We can't generalize the classification algorithm, we can't generalize the clustering algorithm, we can't generalize the any deep learning algorithm. That's why this is called a NP problem. It's called non-deterministic polynomial hard problem, because according to data we have to apply the group of algorithms and test our system. That's why it is not a polynomial time solvable problem. They are a non-deterministic polynomial hard problems. That's why a number of researchers are working on ML, AI, deep learning. अगर एक चीज ये बता दी जाती कि यही चीज सब में लगने वाली है, तो कोई काम करता क्या? एक ही पर्सन की रिक्वायरमेंट होती जो वहां पे भी चला जाता, वहां पे भी चला जाता. But it is not like this, because the variety of data, the nature of the data is very different from domain to domain. So it is a problem of NP hard problem. Okay, that's why the need of machine learning and AI over here. So deep learning application in GIS applications, the image classification is the one of the area, is the simplest method in determining whether a photo is a type of A or B in categorization, object detections, semantic segmentations, and the instance segmentations. These are the some of the literatures. Why we motivated for doing this one? The understanding the impact of the COVID in India. We have done this study as a geographical information, because the COVID is the disease is going in that, but we worked as a Earth positioning system. That's a GIS location based monitoring we have done. So need of the data representation, understanding the trend of the COVID. So as to take prevention measures accordingly, forecasting of future cases to take in this and rising cases of India. So data set description, the aim of this work to analyze and future forecasting the COVID-19 is spread in the active cases in India. And the data set used for the study is retrieved from the site, which provides the details about the active cases, total cases, and this. The shape file you are using in GIS, are you using that? The shape file of India is used for getting the spatial location of various states from the site. So these are, you can take the screenshot of it, image of it, where you can extract the data as per the natural earth, public domain vector and raster data sets supported by NACIS. The name is Open Data Archive. And UNEP Environmental Data Explore include the global forecast forest cover, global potential, global average monthly temperature, dams, watersheds, boundary. This type of work you want to do, then this is that one. And geo platform of ISRO, from where also we can extract the informations. Global rural urban mapping project, and data sent from NSS, socioeconomy data, and application center based on the. So tools we have applied, the programming language we have used over here is a Python, and library you can write in your notebook. The library you can use for this purpose are Pandas. Pandas is a software library written for the Python programming language for data manipulation and analysis. Then GeoPandas is an open source project to make working with geospatial data in Python easier, and GeoPandas extends the data types used by pandas to allow spatial operation on geometric types. Then softwares you can use Spider. Spider is an open source cross-platform integrated development environment, IDE. It is called a IDE, integrated development environment for scientific programming in the Python language. And we have taken the information from the applied geology department for testing our working, because we are working with the development tools as a Python one. So ArcGIS is a well-known tool, is present and using are most useful in that applied geology department. So we also did the some of the studies and the ArcGIS. So ArcGIS is a cloud-based mapping. So ArcGIS is important because the cloud-based mapping, we can extract the information as a cloud. So all these resources we can use in this manner. So we have presented, if you want to present your data, so data presentation, these steps involve the preparation of geodatabase. Geodatabase of the all state of the India we have taken. So first is a extracted coronavirus cases from the India data set. You can take the other domain objectives you can take, but the path is same somehow because we want to apply the data science models over here. So there's a step involve the preparation of the geo database of the all states of India. Firstly, state-wise daily data from the 2022. So I told to sir, the Sandhya ma'am came and we have attended the lecture of her. She's saying, ma'am, we will give the data to winter, then summer. Then I told, ma'am, I'm unable to fit the model because huge gap between the recording of the data. The machine learning algorithms are well suited if we have a continuous data, if we have an interval data. But if we have a very gap data, then the machine cannot learn by itself, because machine always learn with the samples, with the durations, with the event occurrence. Okay, and the winter to summer, there is a huge changes on the data. Then how the machine can understand? We can understand the dryness is coming, everything is coming, but the machine cannot. So if we want to feed the things to the machine, then machine wants to learn in an efficient way. Then the first responsibility as from the developer side, as a programmer side, they have to take the data in a very small interval data, then definitely you will get a good results. Then the second thing, here the data obtained is a type of list. For spatial analysis needs to be covered to geodata frame. So I think all of you understand what is the meaning of that spatial analysis, because we are doing this analysis in respect of the geospatial positioning system, the latitude and longitude based system. Then the shape file of the India, because the shape file of the India is required for the location of the particular event occurs in that place. So obtained from the GIS data sources, and then combined the shape file is being created, which is used for mapping in ArcGIS for the analysis in the Jupyter notebook. So the first section is clear. Extracted the coronavirus cases data from the data sets, getting the shape file of the India from GIS data sources, converting the list of the data into a geodata frame. This is an important step. You please note down that one, converting the list of data into a geodata frame. How to convert the list of the data into a geodata frame? Then only we can create the shape file, we can understand that shape file, otherwise it's quite challenging for us. So processing the geodata, combine the shape file to use in ArcGIS, and mapping the shape file to perform the mapping and analysis of the corona cases. So here we have some recording or the data is 2021 data. Okay, we have a handshake with I already shown that what is the source of that data. Okay, that the source of data you can take. Then this is saying that the Andaman and Nicobar confirmed cases 7648, active cases 5, and the cured cases 7514, and the death cases 129. based on the positioning of the Arunachal Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh. So all the states of the data we have. So mapping of the result of mapping using the GIS, Global Information System. So corona versus cases in the India, confirmed cases is represented in this way. So is this representation is user friendly or this representation is user friendly? This representation is user friendly, but the efforts is required for converting this to into this. How? We have to convert into a 3 steps, converting the list of data into a geodata frame. Then only we can do this is data into a that form. Okay. So the confirmed cases, coronavirus, these all are our result. My BTech student, they are already passed out. They have done this work with me. Okay. So we have done a study on the COVID cases as per the applicability of the spatial data mining in geo information system as per the latitude and the longitude of the positioning system. We have analyzed this. So coronavirus cases in India versus this, and result of mapping recovered cases and death cases. So spatial analysis of coronavirus cases, GIS, is a new global health technology for mapping. Okay. Why? Because remotely we want to perform the healthcare things. Have you seen the based on only the Aadhaar card, they recognize how many times your vaccination has been done? Is it clear? So based on this, where you have performed that vaccination is not valued. तो कहीं से भी आपने कराया, but based on this mobile app, along with that Aadhaar number is linked with your mobile phone, then easily you can extract the information. These all are possible just because of we have a great technology. Along with these technologies is deployed with the help in a geographical information system. That's why remotely we are accessing anything. So hats off to the internet era, hats off to the all the virtualization, hats off to the distributed system. Just because of these things, all these things are possible nowadays. So GIS is a new global health technology. If you are appearing for any company's interview and you are saying that I'm good in a GIS, in a healthcare technology, I'm good in a GIS in this area, then definitely they will appreciate you. It means you are working, you can work with the spatial values, you can work with the remotely, you can work with the virtual things. So COVID-19 incidence is mapped spatial autocorrelation analysis. So what it mean by the autocorrelations? Based on the geographical information system, we have to find out or correlate the things which with each and other as a methodology. We studied in a statistic also, auto correlation. So this Moran's I index we have used, autocorrelation also having n number of things, but we have to find. So the selection of, we want to do the autocorrelation, but the selection of technique is NP hard. Is it clear? Classification, we want to do the classification. We want to choose the classifier is again NP hard. We want to do the feature extraction, but method selection is again NP hard. That's why n number of research is going in this area. Okay. So the primary hot locations are then identified using the hotspot analysis. So a spatial autocorrelation, Morgan S index, it is defined, and Morgan index value in our case is 0.0393. In COVID cases, we already shown that one. So this you have seen easily is a bell shape. It is look like a bell shape. It means the data is dispersed in a plane and it is somehow normalized. So this, if the data is not skewed as a, either the data is left skewed or the right skewed data. So again, we have to do the one analysis, how the data is spread in an overall span. Because the overall analysis never based on the lower side or the upper side. We always concentrate on the bell shape side. So this bell shape is giving the significance role for taking the decision to support the decision support system. So this Morgan's index value in our case is this, and which is a positive and indicate tendency towards the clustering. So Z score and the p value is called a significance value. Normally in our area we are taking that as 0.05 values, and we got the both Z and p positive values. I think in statistic it was covered by the sir. So hotspot analysis. So we want to find out in all over India which one is a hotspot as per the geographical information system. So first clustering is determined. Then on the basis of the hotspot analysis we have done, then hotspots are the area that shows statistically higher tendencies to cluster especially. मतलब कहाँ पे किस तरीके की चीजें ज्यादा ग्रुप हो रही हैं जियोग्राफिकल इंफॉर्मेशन के बेसिस पे, उस तरीके से वो उसको क्या करेगा, मैप करेगा. Then this is determined by looking at each incident within the context of neighboring features. So this is the state-wise analysis. You can see that the A and K is somehow very less than Lakshadweep. So is this representation is okay? अच्छा लग रहा है देख के? Yeah. So these all things we have prepared with the help of Python. So Python is good for visualization. So if you represent your data, just this, we worked on this data. We have taken only the screenshot of it. The data is too long. Then we have converted into this map. Okay. Then it's quite easy to understand. Then again, this type of representation. So if you increase your presentation skill, understanding on the data, then you can use many tools. Python is one of them. You can write the second one is Tableau. All of you please write the second one as Tableau, because not too much time with me. Otherwise, I will show the work of that Tableau also, how the Tableau works. So Tableau is a best data visualization technique applied in every area where we want to represent our data. Okay. And for statistically evaluations, we want to do SPSS. SPSS. So statistic things like this we want to do. For that, correlations, S matrix computations, we can use SPSS. SPSS is also as a purchased one. So again, we have another tool, PS. You will find out the SPSS is not a free, but इसका एक second version है जो आपको free मिल जाएगा. ठीक है, तो आप उसमें अपने काम थोड़े से कर सकते हैं. The cases worst affected by India is showing by this graph, state-wise analysis, and the proposed model for COVID-19 predictions. We started our journey with that. ML can do the many things, the forecasting, classification, clusterings, association, all these tasks we can do with the help of data scientist. If you are saying you want to become as a data scientist, then what you have a calibers, definitely you are good in classifications, you have to good in clustering, you are good in association, you are good in visualization, you are good in predictions, you are good in pre-processing, you are good in data representations. Then you can say you are good in, or you want to become as a data scientist. So the role of the data scientist or the machine learning or AI is that one. We have to convert the huge amount of the data, very dense data, into a meaningful way for extracting the useful information and taking the conclusions from the data. That's why this area is now a boom, because we have huge amount of data. Your WhatsApp data, what is the size exactly? Not exactly, as approximately. How much burden the Google bear? How much burden the Facebook bear? How much burden your other sensors bear? Can you think? So day by day, why everyone are saying that कि computer science वालों को बहुत job मिल जाती है? They are somehow disappointed. But the reason behind it that the data is huge. If the data is packed into a simple box, simple package, then data science का रोल वहीं पे क्या हो जाएगा? खत्म हो जाएगा. Okay. So the data scientist is a generalized term, but the data science is required in a mineralogy also. Data scientist required in a healthcare also. Data scientist required in a mathematics also. So everywhere, because everybody wants to play with the data. This is the reason behind it. So the COVID-19 prediction, the huge amount of data all over India, and the forecast method has been used to project SARIMA, autoregressive autoregressive integrated moving average is called the full form of that ARIMA model. All of you please explore these things, and definitely you will find the meaningful things why ma'am is giving emphasis on these words. Because if you are find out and you fit this particular model, definitely you are able to understand the nature of your data. That's all. So an extension to ARIMA that suppose the direct modeling of the seasonal components by the series is called S-ARIMA model. So time series components, the technical terms we are using over here. The first one is called a trend component, second one called a seasonal component, and third one is called a irregular component. What it mean by the irregular component? We are sitting over here, so some pattern is going. The simple our mind is just in front of that, we are gazing that one, that slide. But once we are going that, then we are not seeing in a one directions. Okay, our eye movement in a 5 direction. Sometimes we are seeing in the left hand side, right hand side, that side, back side, like this. So the certain type of irregular patterns. So we have to decompose the whole time series data into a 3 things. First one is a trend component. Second one is a seasonal component. What it mean by the seasonal component? Suppose एक चीज हुआ, the heartbeat जैसा होता है, एक टाइम के बाद this pattern again repeat. Okay, so this is called a seasonality. After some time, the same pattern will repeat, occurrence. Okay, and the trend component, it means you have to, a trend is a long-term pattern. We have a big pattern, we have to decompose one, and we have to find out the seasonality, we have to find out the irregular component, and based on this we have to do the analysis. So the trend is a long-term pattern of the time series. A trend can be positive or negative भी हो सकता है. एक अपन ने लिया ग्राफ, ऊपर बना दिया, नीचे चला गया, कहीं भी चला गया वो, तो उसकी जो पोजिशनिंग है, न्यूट्रल पोजिशन, नेगेटिव पोजिशन, पॉजिटिव पोजिशन, सो ये आप देख सकते हैं. Then seasonal component, seasonal occurs when the time series exhibits regular fluctuations during the same month every year or during the same quarter every year. For instance, retail sales or market. An irregular component means the component is unpredictable. We can't see what is the mentality of. That's why we worked on the brain signaling, and it was very difficult for me to map this one because the pattern is not somehow similar. It is a very irregular pattern. So once I have started my journey, I just कि क्या fit होगा इसमें, अभी यहाँ पे चला गया, अभी यहाँ पे चला गया. Yeah. So as a beginner in any area, you have to find the trend first. If the trend have seasonal effects, then you can easily fit your time series model. If the trend is irregular components, then it's quite difficult to fit the particular model. So this is the time series components. You can see easily. So step involved, the time series analysis cannot be done when the data is not stationary. मतलब क्या है, अगर data आपका stationary नहीं है, random है, तो थोड़ा सा उसमें क्या होगा, दिक्कत होगी. यही है, the time series analysis cannot be done when the data is not stationary. So we will first plot ACF. Please note down, these all are technical terms. Yeah. आपको करना है, आपको फिटिंग करनी है, मगर करने के लिए हमें कौन कौन से कीवर्ड्स पे काम करना है. बहुत ज्यादा पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं होती है, लेकिन पता चल गया कि आप क्या कर रहे हैं. ट्रेंड में सीजनल है तो सीजनल टाइप के की चीजें देखो, इनरेगुलर है तो इनरेगुलर मेथड्स देखो. और पाइथन पे मैं आपको बताया था यहाँ पे कि पाइथन में कौन कौन सी चीजें यूज हो रही है. पाइथन पे ये टूल्स है ना, इसको एक्सप्लोर करेंगे हम इसके लिए. सो पाइथन टूल्स, पाइफ्लक्स, टाइम सिंथेसिस, एसके टाइम, ऑर्बिट एंड पास. इन पैकेजेस की थोड़ी थोड़ी स्टडी करना शुरू करिए, फिर इसके मॉक पे जाइए. ये पैकेज के मॉक डेटा पे आप इसको, इस लाइब्रेरी को यूज करिए, कैसा वो रिजल्ट दे रहा है. उतनी स्टडी के बाद वैसा कुछ छोटा सा डेटा लीजिए और उसमें अप्लाई कर दीजिए. इनिशियल बिगनर ऐसे ही काम करते हैं, है ना. Yes. So arima versus, because we told that one, the arima having the different varieties. Simple arima is a linear regression model. I think all of you understand what it mean by the simple regression. If the thing is changing in respect of the line of equation y is equals to mx plus c, so we can put the simple linear equations over there and we can predict the next values. And time series analysis can be done on the stationary data, and if the data is not stationary, then differencing operation is performed. अगर stationary नहीं है तो उनके बीच के गैप के हिसाब से आपको फिर क्या करना पड़ेगा उसमें. आप लोगों ने numerical analysis, how many students studied numerical analysis subject in BTech? This is the compulsory subject, numerical analysis, where we have computed the moving average. The difference, पहली बार में देखा कि 2 है 6 है, फिर 12 हो गया है ना, तो कितने का डिफरेंस आया 2 6 12, तो वहां का डिफरेंस. फिर हमने फिर दूसरे पे किया, फिर डिफरेंस कम हो गया, फिर डिफरेंस कम हो गया. समझ रहे हैं? तो ये क्या हो रहा है, वंस वी मूव देन द एवरेज फैक्टर ऑफ द डिफरेंस विल मिनिमाइज, देन वी कैन प्रेडिक्ट द आंसर. So moving average, so averaging of the factors once we move from one to next. So this S arima is an extension of, this is also derived from the model arima model, extension of arima, and has some additional seasonal parameter. क्या दे दिया उसने कि उस समय पे नहीं हो रहा है, एक टाइम इंटरवल के बाद वापस से वो रिपीट करेगा. तो यहाँ पे आपने लगाया, फिर उसके बाद आपको एक गैप देना है, फिर वहां पे सीजनलिटी मिल रही है, फिर वहां पे लगाना है, तो क्या हो जाएगा ये S arima model. So without using the differencing operations, also we can make the data stationary using S arima. यानी कि हम डिफरेंस को जो मैथमेटिक्स में होता है डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशंस, पता है ना, फर्स्ट डिफरेंशियल निकालते हैं, फिर सेकंड डिफरेंस निकालते हैं, तो उसका पर्पस क्या होता है, कहीं ना कहीं हम उसको कन्वर्ज करना चाह रहे हैं उनसे. तो वैसे यहाँ पे क्या होगा, एस अरिमा में अब आपको मूविंग एवरेज के तरीके से नहीं देखना है, आप क्या बोल रहे हो, पैटर्न के हिसाब से चल रहे हो कि एक पैटर्न आपको एक मंथ में मिला, फिर 2 महीने आपने गैप कर दिया, फिर वो सेम पैटर्न मिल रहा है. तो आई थिंक एज पर माई नॉलेज एस अरिमा इज बेटर फॉर जीआईएस सिस्टम, बिकॉज जीआईएस सिस्टम में बहुत लॉन्ग गैप होता है, उसके बाद फिर सेम पैटर्न रिपीट होता है. तो इन प्लेस ऑफ दैट सिंपल अरिमा मॉडल, they can deploy the model is called a S arima model. So without using the differential operations, we use the S arima to make data stationary and make predictions. So parameters of S arima model, AR is called a autoregression, ID is called a integrations, MA is called a moving average. And seasonal elements, ये बहुत आसानी से हो जाता है पाइथन कोडिंग पे, डोंट वरी. लेकिन आपको थीम पता होना चाहिए, आपको बेसिक्स पता होने चाहिए, आपको पैरामीटर पता होना चाहिए. तो फर्स्टली यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द वर्किंग ऑफ इट, देन Python can do each and everything. But if the Python giving the answer, how you can think what the answer came from the Python. So that understanding with you, what will be the input, what will be the output, what are the parameters, how to fit, how to tune the parameters, this is required for the fittings. So P is a seasonal autoregression order, D is a seasonal difference order, Q is a seasonal moving average order, and M is the number of time stamp for single seasonal periods. So steps to use the S arima model is that define the model. An instance of S arima max class can be created by providing the training data and a host of the model configurations parameters. And fit the model. This is a simple line. Can you see? Only the based on the 2 line the Python can do. Okay, so you read out the theory first, then the Python will tell you all, because the Python is present in a cloud. There is no need to take the Python in your standalone system. Google Colab you can run. Okay, so S arima mode is equals to sm.tsa.statespace.s arima max. So can you see how many dot operations over here? 1 2 3 4. It means it is taking the methods from 4 different things. Then trend DIFTT, then trend N, we want to find an order of the values, then fit the particular models. So make the predictions. Once the fit the model, you can use to make a forecast. अब आप आगे की चीज देखना चाह रहे हैं. So for forecasting, a forecast can be made by calling a forecast or to predict the functions on a S arima max result. then here only that parameters in a single quote is a function name is called a forecast. So these outcomes are generated by fitting of that model and predictions. So actual data, the date and actual cases, and date and predicted cases. So can you see this answer? The 1309 is the actual answer, and how the system computed this one is somehow similar. 13491, the predicted cases for the same thing. 12516 and the predicted cases like this. So कि उसको ये predict करना था और उसने ये किया, तो deviation है कि नहीं वहां पे थोड़ा सा? 1309 उसको एक्चुअल करना था और उसने प्रेडिक्ट क्या किया है? 13491. तो अगेन आप क्या करेंगे? यू हैव टू ट्यून द पैरामीटर, अगेन यू हैव टू find out the trend, again you have to find out the minimizer that. So again you have to check again and again when your actual is equal to your predicted one. It is called a, if there is two answers, then you will get a residual error. Okay, and normally we are working on minimization of error and in improving the accuracy of the model with the help of trial and error with the model parameters. Clear? So the accuracy around this one, we got this by this one. So conclusions, we got to learn about the geographical information system, which is a computer system for capturing, storing, checking, and displaying the data related to positions on the Earth surface and its various applications. Using the GIS capabilities such as a spatial and analytics mapping help to understand how to infection is spreading and out and what areas immediate actions are required. And to predict the coronavirus cases, SREMO model has been used. And firstly, the time series analysis is performed to check the trend in the data. Then ACF and PCF are plotted, that one, and the accuracy we got is 95%. I just want to show one another, this 5 minutes I want to take for this second case study, the one case study with the help of that geographical information system. And this is the second case study we have done for the water. And this is for the irrigation problem associated with the groundwater quality assessment. So ground quality assessment is a crucial for irrigation purpose, drinking purpose, mapping of pure groundwater sources, prevention of disease that occurs due to the this one. So yeah, so we have done the data visualization, data discretization, and correlation. What it mean by the correlations? Because we are finding the correlations among the parameters associated with each other related to the water. So here the data set has been collected from the geology department. We are working on the applied geology department along with this. That's why many times I am discussing with the Hari sir and the Mayank, because we are not a person working on that area, but we want to do the model, we want to classify, we want to mimic the things what the geological actually want. It means we want to provide the service to the applied geology. In what manner we can supply the services? We have to understand. So data is collected from the geology department of NIT Raipur. It is consist of the groundwater details of samples collected from the 14 locations within the Raipur itself, and 14 features namely as pH, EC, TDS, TH, TA, H, CO3 minus, Cl minus, NO3. So these all are chemical components which is present in a water. So this is the visualizations we have done by our own using the ARC GIS. It is showing that one in the. So this visualization, the useful tool is already present in our ARC GIS. So data, we have to do the pre-processing because the data is full of noise. जो इन्होंने दिया है, we can't rely directly कि कहीं पे 5 लिखना था 50 लिख दिया, क्योंकि manual reading they are taking. So somehow we have to find out the data having some issues or not. So we have to perform which operation is called a data pre-processing. But if you are extracting the data from already established storage, then data already pre-processed. But we are taking the data from ground, we are taking the data from realistic sources, then it is having a problem and we have to do the data pre-processing. So this imputation means filling the missing value. Suppose they went there, but they have not taken the reading on it. So we have to put this reading by the appropriate value. So whole techniques is called a missing value handling techniques, already discussed by one of the speaker, Dr. Deepak. He discussed the missing value handling. So this missing value handling we can do as a part of data pre-processing. So data discretizations, we have to map. Yesterday in that one, we told if we map our data into grid form, it's quite easy to understand. So this is the grid representations of the data. Data discretization is a technique. We have to convert into data into a spanning way. The correlations we have find as per the water quality indexes. So these all are the major components of the waters. So based on this, the pH to pH, वो क्या होगा? It is a highly correlated pH and EC value. तो pH और EC की chemical जो properties है उसके basis में किस type का correlation है? अगर pH बढ़ रहा है तो pH बढ़, आपका EC बढ़ रहा है या घट रहा है, वो सारा चीज आपको कहाँ से पता चलेगा? Based on the autocorrelation matrix. So this is the autocorrelation matrix of the components present in the water particles. Okay. So this matrix having the values, but this value is from 0 to 1 only. Sorry, -1 to 1 only. So -1, minus is indicating the negative correlations and plus is indicating the positive correlations. And 1, 1, it means they are highly correlated. They are the same things, you can say like this. So EC and TDS is somehow the TDS and EC, we are getting one value. Are you able to see this? So the nature of this one is a similar. So once we want to predict as a nature of it, so you can remove the TDS and because EC also behave like this. Okay. So maybe you will get the same type of answers for some of the chemical components. So parameters showing the negative correlations over here, EC and pH, TDS and pH, TH and pH. However, their correlations values are insignificant. So parameters showing the positive correlation, EC and TDS having the positive correlations, EC and TS having the positive correlation. So, so parameters showing no correlations are none because we are not getting any zero answer in this matrix. So this is the objective, and here it is a multi-class classification. We want to calculate the WQI. Is called the water quality index. Why this is a classification problem? Because we want to categorize the quality of the water into how many categories? 4 categories, and 4 categories are already pre-defined. That's why it is called a classification problem. So class 0 is saying that not suitable to drink. Class 1 suitable to drink. Then class 2 excellent. Class 3 poor. So this we want to map the whole things into these 4 classes. So calculation of the weight factors. These water quality index is not derived by own. The water quality index is also a standard one derived by the scientist for identifying the quality value. But we have to find out the range where we can say this is good or not. So the weight is assigned for each parameters. Here, index. So occurrence of different class of the water, you can see easily. So the pie chart, it is shown by the visualization techniques, and the one is representation is called a pie chart. So pie chart having that one. The good कितना दिख रहा है? जितने हमने sample लिए उसमें से good का section कितना दिख रहा है? Good is indicated by which color? Green color. Not green. 35.4 is showing the good one. Excellent is blue one. And 18.8 is a poor. तो poor कम ही है ना? बाकी सारा मतलब ठीक ही है. And 14.6 is for not suitable. So poor और not suitable को अगर हम लोग दोनों को mix कर दें तो कितना हो गया? 23 अराउंड कुछ. तो 23% वाटर ऐसा है जिसकी क्वालिटी सही नहीं है for drinking purpose of the Raipur. Can you see by this chart? Because of different locations we have calculated the WQI factors. So this is the again another way of representation. This is called a Boylan plot. This is called a pie chart. This is called a Boylan plot and shows the Boylan plot of the classes of water quality and how they are related to the WQI. And this is the density box and block box plot. This is the statistical thing you can represent on these data. Why I'm showing this one? Because this type of case study we can do with the help of machine learning only. Machine supports, statistical machine supports, spatial data mining supports, visualization tool support. So these all things we have done for the GIS system. Okay. Okay, so by this word, I'm closing my slides. If you have any questions, you can ask to me. Any questions from the participant side? Online they have joined. Okay. So Shivangi, any questions from the offline students? No questions? It means कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया? Hmm? Each and everything you understood. Mining student, no questions? Hmm. Hmm. This graph is converted with the help of programming. Okay. And Excel and this one, you have only giving that one the two columns. But Microsoft Excel is also good in a statistic. You have a many add-ons things. Okay. So statistic also you can do with the Word. ऐसा नहीं है कि word is not powerful, but word is not very user friendly, and the Python is giving the environment and the simplest code, simplest function, simplest package. You just put your data anywhere. You can just use by that command the give the complete path, and this Excel or .csv file it is taking. The full form of CSV file is called a comma separated valued file. Then you just put in a program and you will get these results. And I told one thing also, na, Tableau. Tableau is a GUI based for graph representation. So you explore, please, my sincere request to you all of you, please explore the Tableau. Tableau. Tableau is for data visualization. Okay. Any other question? So I just want to yes. This is the example of that tableau. This is useful for information, visualization, and mapping of popular topic of the climate changes between these 2009 to 2018. It means all the changes of the climate from the 2009 to 18 is mapped in a one frame. So this is the beauty of that visualization, and it is done with the help of dashboard creation. So the technical word we are using for this frame is called a dashboard, and dashboard with the help of many tools are available, many visualization tool, but Tableau is a very efficient tool. And one good thing, the Tableau is not giving us as a free, but for the student it is giving 1 year subscription to your. समझे? So you have to put your valid ID card, valid college name, then you will get the subscription for 1 year, and 1 year is sufficient for doing the analysis on your data. I think so. Okay. So by this word, I'm closing this session. The next session will take by Mayank. So please.